That sounds fun. All right, we had a great stay at VVR. It was very relaxing. I highly recommend it.
I can't believe that that's all I had to say about VVR. The people who run the place are so nice and attentive. They have all different kinds of accommodations that you can rent, from canvas tents to small cabins, a 4-room motel. We rented the yurt, and they also have RVs for rent. The cafe has both indoor and outdoor seating, and the food was very good, and the portions were tremendous. As soon as Plum and I realized this, we actually started splitting meals between the two of us, because it was enough, each meal was enough for both of us to eat. We had a wonderful stay. We were very refreshed when we left, and I would highly recommend it.
All right, visibility is pretty good this morning. You can see parts of Lake Edison down there. The smoke from the fire isn't as bad. So again, since we had to climb down yesterday to get to Lake Edison, that means we're climbing up today. These hills are killer. So, I haven't filmed much this morning. We've been climbing all morning, but remember I said there are some good days and some hard days. So, this morning's shaping up to be kind of hard. First of all, I had like a stiff neck, which morphed into a raging headache. It's hard to hike when your head is pounding. In addition, I'm feeling very sluggish this morning. Not sure why. I had a nice low mileage day yesterday. Got a lot of rest, plenty of calories. I'm not sure why I'm feeling this way this morning. Oh, where's the trail? Oh, and I discovered a new joy. Biting flies. Anyone who's ever thru hiked anything will tell you that some days are like this. Just harder than others. So I'm gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other until it gets easier. And if I don't get as far as I thought I would today, then so be it. I'll take it as it comes. Look at the size of that tree. campsite. And the creek is over there.
Okay, so update on today. The afternoon was better than the morning. I was still tired and sluggish, but I think emotionally I was feeling better. Maybe some of that was due to after lunch there was a little downhill before more uphill, or that we got to see some views, or walked along a creek, and I think those kinds of things lift my spirits. Backpackers, thru hikers have a saying, never quit on a bad day. And that just basically means that if you wait a little while, things are going to get better. Tomorrow is probably going to be better than today if today is a bad day. And you don't want to quit when you're having a bad day and then miss the good day. Maybe if tomorrow is better, you might decide not to quit. Or maybe you've thought it through and you have good reasons for quitting, but at least you're quitting because you thought it through with your brain and not because you gave up emotionally. Bad days are going to happen, and you're entitled to acknowledge and have those feelings. I was cranky and whiny this morning, and I acknowledged that. But then I moved on, and I, sort of picked myself up by my bootstrings, and I started to feel better, and that's what it's all about. One step in front of the other until you get the job done. Every hill that I make it over is one hill closer to my goal. So I try to think about it that way. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 15. This has been one of my least favorite campsites. We heard that all up and down this stretch the mosquitoes are pretty bad. And yeah, they're right. Not swarming here, but certainly enough to be annoying. And they got up with us at 5 o'clock in the morning. I even had 3 of them get inside my tent as I was getting in and out. So they're a little bit of a pain here. So I'm getting ready to have my oatmeal, and I even came inside my tent to do that, which is something that I never do. I never eat inside my tent. But this morning I'm gonna. All right, so the mosquitoes along this creek were really bad, and I've broken out my new fashion accessory. The plan today is to head up toward Muir Lake and probably over Selden Pass today. Somehow we've lost the trail. Let's see. Going over a big, rocky section where it's not easy to follow. So now we're trying to pick it up on the other side. Oh, here it is. Yep, found it.
Oh, there's a trail.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fun. All right, so there was an intersection of 2 trails. Now we found the right trail. That other wrong trail that we almost took was called the Seven Gables Trail. Glad we're back on the right one. That looks like a wobbly rock.
Gonna do a water crossing.
So I just came up a steep section and I tried to film it because I don't usually film the hard steep stuff because I'm busy trying to navigate it. And when I finished and I went to turn off the video, I realized the video wasn't running. I'm not going back and doing that again. All right, so we arrived at Muir Lake. We're gonna take a little break here. It's a beautiful little lake. I stuck my feet in, and it's initially very cold when you first put your feet in, but it's so pretty here. And our next thing to tackle is Selden Pass, which is around here somewhere. I'm guessing maybe over there or over there. We'll follow the trail and find out. Top of Selden Pass. We did it. Oh. We came from up there. This is actually kind of a cool pass. And we're working our way. We're going down. And it's the valley. Some of those steps that we just came down were made for people with 7-foot long legs. So this is called Heart Lake, and when you look at it from this angle, you can kind of see why. It's the top of the heart over there. Approaching Sally Keys Lake. It's actually a double lake. That looks so nice. That does not look so nice. I'm glad we made it over the pass already. Sally Keys Lake number 2. The other side. All right. Gray skies in the background. So we put on our pack covers. We've had 1 raindrop so far. Let's hope that's all it is. We are moving on to Muir Trail Ranch. So our original plan this morning was to head up to Marie Lakes, take a break there, press on over Selden Pass to Sally Keys Lake, and then set up camp there, go for a swim, enjoy the lake. 2 things changed that plan. Number 1, when we got to Sally Keys, it was beautiful, but it was really cloudy and giving the impression that it was going to start to drizzle or rain. And so it really wasn't conducive to swimming. Also, started reading a couple of the comments on the Far Out guide with respect to MTR, which is our next resupply point. And they said things like, oh, I was a day late and they sent the bucket back, and just not nice things. Now, first of all, that goes against what they say on their website, which is that they hold the bucket for about 2 weeks before doing anything with it, like sending it back. And they suggest that you put your estimated arrival date or even a day or 2 earlier, because they have to bring the buckets up to the ranch from their holding facility at Florence Lake, which is bigger. So they only bring up a few buckets at a time for the people that they're expecting to come through. So I understand that sometimes people are disgruntled and they'll feel the need to write nasty things. My concern is I did what they said on the website, and I put the date a day early to make sure that the bucket would be up there in time. And if it were true that they were sending buckets back the next day, and I got there on my real expected date, which is the next day, and my bucket wasn't there, and MTR doesn't sell any food in their store, I'd have no way to resupply or get food for the next 11 days. So, since Sally Keys wasn't looking like an enjoyable swimming spot, and since it was nagging in the back of my mind, we decided to press on to MTR to get there a day early. So, that is why we are now moving on to MTR. It's like a Boulder jungle gym. We did talk to a couple of people going the other direction who had just resupplied at MTR, and they had nothing but positive things to say. One of the gentlemen was even a day later than his estimated arrival date. He had expected to be there yesterday, and he picked up his stuff today with no problems. So that definitely makes me feel better, but we're still pressing on. Yes, this is an exposed switchback. But look at what we are exposed to. Alright. So, northbounders will tell you that this is a grueling hill, which it is. And many of the northbounders we've passed will attest to that. For northbounders, they're going uphill for nearly 5 miles straight, and much of it is exposed in the sun like this. And if they just resupplied at MTR, they're lugging a fully loaded resupply pack up this hill. We, on the other hand, are going downhill. The clouds have been sort of coming in and out to give us a break from the beating sun. And because we're going down to resupply, our packs are lighter. So, not as bad in the southbound direction. My resupply bucket has arrived. Now to open it and remember what I put in it. Alright, time to weigh the backpack. Alright. So we got to Muir Trail Ranch, actually a day early, and we picked up our resupply, so my bag is really heavy now. But we're camping nearby, and there's a hot spring. But to get to the hot spring, you have to cross the river. Luckily, there's a rope. This is the hot spring. It's nice and warm, like nice warm bath water.